Okay. Uh, Good morning, dear students. We had two units completed. The third unit is the solid state. It is the very easy lesson. Here there is no mathematical simplification. Okay, listen carefully. Okay, solid state. We know very well matters are four types, which is solids, liquid, gases, and plasma state. Okay, solid means the particle arrangement is very closely. This type of substance we are called as solids. Okay, when we are entered in the lesson, we learn first of all band theory. Band theory. What is the band theory? According to molecular orbital theory, or linear combination of atomic orbital theory, when when of the two atoms combine with each other, two molecular orbital formed. Similarly, n atomic orbitals, n atoms combination with each other, n molecular orbital formed. All these molecular orbitals were very close to each other, appear as a band, not bond. This is the band, right? As a band. In metallic crystals, or the valence band n is the very high. This is called energy band. Different atomic orbitals formed different energy bands. Okay, based on these bands, two types bands are there. Okay, na? First of all, valency band. What is the valency band? The valency band energy. Valency band is the one of the energy band formed by the combination of valency atomic orbitals which are having valency electrons. Valency band partially filled. Partially filled means half filled, or 20% filled, or 80% filled, and full filled. Valency band nature is very simple concept. First one is the energy band formed by the combination of the valency atomic orbital which are having valency electrons. Valency band partially filled or completely filled, never empty, but not empty. That means in valency band we have some of the electrons are fulfilled but not empty. This is the characteristics of valency band. And then what about conduction band? The next higher energy bond to the valency band is called as conduction band. For example, this is the conduction band, this is the valency band. The next energy level is the conduction band. Okay, the next higher energy bond to the valency band you are called as conduction band. Conduction band may be partially filled. Partially means half filled, or 20%, 30%, or 80% filled, and empty band also we get formed, but not fulfilled, or it never completely filled. Conduction band may be partially filled or empty, but it never completely filled. Very simply, in valence band, full filled, partially filled. Conduction band, half filled or partially filled and empty. Here in valence band, never empty, never fulfilled. This is the valency band and conduction band. The conduction band is the next energy level of the valency band. Next concept is the energy forbidden gap. Energy forbidden gap. What is the energy forbidden gap? The energy gap between the valency band and conduction band is called forbidden gap. Energy forbidden gap. The energy forbidden gap denoted with Eg. Next, after then, based on the valency band and conduction band, and based on the characteristics of valency band and conduction band, and then electrical property also. Here the materials are three types. The first one is the conductor, second one is the insulator, third one is the semiconductors. Right, here first of all we'll discuss conductors. In conductors, the valency band of the electrons sufficiently high in number of further velocity also maximum. In conductors, the number of electrons also sufficient. Here, very simple answer to explain the conductor. In a conductor, the conduction band, and this is the valency band. This is the conduction band. In a conductor's valency band and conduction band both are overlapped to each other. Overlap to each other. Example, metals. Example, metals and alloys, like this. These are including a conductor. Simple definition for the conductor. In a conductor's valency band, for example, this is the material. In this material, valency band and conduction band both are overlapped to each other. That's type of material we are called as conductors. Right? After then, insulators. Here insulator also we have valency band and conduction band. In a valency band, some of electrons are there. Right? Valency band in insulators is full or off, anything, is separated by the large forbidden gap from the next energy level of the conduction band is the empty. And that means there is no transfer of electron from the valency band to conduction band. Why? Because the reason is the energy forbidden gap is very high. Simple definition, in a insulator's valency band and conduction band separated by the large forbidden gap. That's why there is no chance to transfer of electrons from the valency band to conduction band. Approximately that energy gap is the 6 electron volts. After then, semiconductor. Here the semiconductor properties are the in between the conductors and insulators. Why? Because in a insulators the both bands are separated large gap, but here small energy gap. Here valency band and conduction band separated very small energy gap. In semiconductors, energy gap is small with compared to the insulators. Very low electrons from the valency band have sufficient thermal energy will be promoted into the conduction band, hence their conductivity is very small. And compare the conductors, in a conductors the conductivity is the more. In insulator there is no conductivity. In semiconductor very low conductivity. Compare the conductors and insulators. Right? After then, okay, next semiconductors are mainly divided into two parts. The first one is the intrinsic semiconductor. First one is the intrinsic semiconductor. What about intrinsic semiconductor? The poorest of a semiconductor is called intrinsic semiconductor. These semiconductors act as insulators at low temperature and act as conductors at high temperature. Generally, intrinsic semiconductor at low temperature, it exhibits low conductivity. At high temperature, it exhibits conductors. Okay, are very good conductors. Okay, and that means intrinsic semiconductors depends upon the temperature. Intrinsic semiconductors depends upon the temperature. Here, when increasing the temperature, what's happened? The conductivity also increase. Okay, then what about example of the intrinsic semiconductor? It is a pure crystalline solid. Intrinsic semiconductor is the pure crystalline solid. What is pure crystalline solid? Means the total material consists of the pure component. For example, silicon and germanium, very best example to explain the intrinsic semiconductor. For example, this is the silicon semiconductor. Here all these total material arrangement are consist with silicon atom. Every silicon atom, the silicon valency is the 4. Of course, the silicon is the fourth group element. Okay, every silicon atom bonded with another silicon atom. Every silicon atom having 4 electrons with bond formation. This bond we are called as covalent bond. Generally intrinsic semiconductor, it has low conductivity because semiconductors are low conductivity. At low temperature it exhibit, I think, insulators. At high temperature it exhibit conductors. Okay, the intrinsic semiconductors depends upon the temperature. The intrinsic semiconductor conductivity is depends upon the temperature. Best example, silicon and germanium. Alright, after then next one, extrinsic semiconductors. Here extrinsic semiconductors mean the semiconductor doped with higher or lower group elements is called extrinsic semiconductors. For example, silicon is the fourth group element. This silicon element replaced by the next group. Next group means fifth group, or before, and that means third group element. And very simple, the fourth group element replaced by the fifth group or third group element, we are, that is called as doped. Simple. Doped means extrinsic semiconductors material whose conductivity is the controlled with impurities. When addition of impurities, we are called as doping. In a extrinsic semiconductor doped with fifth group element and third group element. Okay, when addition of third group element, we get sometimes fifth or third group element, we get free electrons, sometimes holes. Due to the free electrons and holes, we get conductivity. Once again listen, extrinsic semiconductors, the material whose conductivity is the controlled by addition of the impurities. This phenomena we are called as doping. There are two different kinds of doping, which when addition of pure silicon or germanium produce excess electrons or holes. These are called as n-type and p-type semiconductors. Okay, when it is formed n-type and p-type semiconductor. First of all, we'll discuss n-type semiconductor. Okay, listen carefully. N-type. In a n-type semiconductor, very simple, the fourth group element replaced by the fifth group element. For example, this is the pure crystalline solid, this is an intrinsic semiconductor. Here this is a pure crystalline, there is no doping. Now in a extrinsic semiconductor, we want to doping. Here very simple, this is the silicon atom, fourth group element. The valency is 4. Here the fourth group element replaced by the fifth group element, that is the arsenic. The fifth group element valency is the 5. That's why in a valency electrons, 5 electron. 1, 2, 3, 4 and remaining electron. Here remaining fifth electron occupied in the discrete level. Due to of this free electron, it's produce conductivity. When one of the silicon atom is replaced by the fifth group element like arsenic, the following structure we get. The result structure is like this. Here we get free electron. This name is called free electron. After then, here the free electron which charge? Whenever the electron it get negative charge. Negative means with start with n letter. That's why this type of semiconductor we called as n-type semiconductor. N-type means free electron having a negative charge. Negative n. N means n-type superconductors. Sorry, n-type semiconductors. After then, here free. This is the in terms of band theory. For example, this is a valency band. Okay, here conduction band. In a valency band, sufficient electrons. Sufficient electrons means under donor level. This is the conduction band. Okay, after then donor level is the here very important, and that means in valency the sufficient of electrons promote to the valency band to conduction band. Right, after then p-type extrinsic semiconductors. Very simple here. In a pure crystalline solid, the fourth group element replaced by the third group element like gallium. What's happened? Generally here, this is pure, just assume this is the pure crystalline solid, totally silicon atom. The silicon atom for example, replaced by the third group element, that is the gallium. In a third group element, the valence electrons is 3 electrons. Remaining, it get hole formation. Hole. In a fifth group element, we get free electron. In a third group, hole formation. Due to this hole, the conductivity will be produced. Hole. Hole means it has positive charge. Positive. Start with P. That's why we call it as P-type semiconductor. In terms of valency band level, here valency band and conduction band. Okay. Here conduction band, there is no sufficient electron to promote the valency band to conduction band. That's why here we get hole formation. Hole formation means that is the acceptor level. In P-type donor level, acceptor level. Replaced by fifth group, replaced by third group. We get free electrons, we get holes. Right? This is a donor level, this is the acceptor level. Okay, na? Every intrinsic semiconductor P-type and N-type separate diagram I will provide with two notes. Okay, our next topic is photoconductivity. Our next topic is the photoconductivity. This is a very important and a short question, very important also. A semiconductor exhibit very low conductivity in dark or room temperature. Dark at dark place and room temperature. A semiconductor exhibited very low conductivity in dark or at room temperature. Because in a dark place or at room temperature, the valency band and conduction band large band gap. That's why very few of electron can be excited from bottom of the valency band to top of the conduction band at room temperature. Okay. At dark place or room dark or at room temperature, the forbidden gap is the very high. Very high. That's why very small of the electrons promoted to the valency band to conduction band. Okay, right. Then what is photoconductivity phenomena? When electromagnetic radiation means nothing but intensity of the light. Okay, when an electromagnetic radiation is incident on it, there will be considered increasing electrical conductivity due to the production of electrons, okay, and holes by absorption of the photon. Very simple. To dominating the energy gap, the electrical radiation incident on the valency band. That's why it produces electrons. That's why easy to promote from the valency band to conduction band. So the conductivity will be increased. Here the conductivity increase due to the absorption of photon. That's why these phenomena we are called as photoconductivity. The exhibiting material we are called as conductors. This phenomena used in photodetectors and electrophotographies, nothing but Xerox centers. This is photoconductivity. Very simple. Photoconductivity means the generally the semiconductor exhibit very low conductivity at dark place and room temperature because the large forbidden gap. When dominating the large forbidden gap, absorption of the light energy, the electron easily to promote from the valency band to conduction band. So that's why the conductivity will be increased. The conductivity increasing due to the absorption of the light, absorption of the photon. That's why this phenomena we are called as photoconductivity. Exhibiting materials are photoconductors. It is very used to photodetectors and electromagnetic Xerox centers or xerography. And next concept is the superconductivity. Okay, this one is so very important. What is the superconductivity? For example, this is the wire. Here some resistance. We are applying 100 electronic volts. We get only 90 electron volts. What is the problem? Here some resistance is there. Due to this resistance, the conductivity is the very low. Okay. After then, without resistance, 100% of electrical volts transfer from the starting point to ending point. Okay, listen once again clearly. Electrical resistance of the most of the metals are Li decreasing when they are cooled. Okay, when they are cooled. For example, at a high temperature the resistance is high. Okay, high temperature the resistance is the high for the metals, not semiconductors. Listen carefully. Here photoconductivity explained based on the semiconductors. Here superconductivity explained based on the metals. The metals conductivity is the very low at high temperature due to the resistance. That means electrical resistance is most of the metals at Ls decreasing when they are cooled. If in case the metal temperature will be decrease, what's happen? The resistance also decrease. Without resistance, the conductivity is super. Very simple, we know very well, conductivity is inversely proportional to the resistance. Okay, for example, the conductivity, here there is no resistance. 1 by 0 means infinity. Infinity means without resistance the conductivity is infinity. That is the superconductivity. Okay, in terms of superconductivity, very easy. Okay, however, certain metals show the remarkable behavior when they are cooled. Their electrical resistance decrease in usually way, but in the reaching critical temperature they suddenly lost all traces of the electrical resistance. They are then said to have passed into the superconductivity state. Very simple. Here our conveniently draw the graph resistance, resistivity versus temperature. For example, this is the material. The material having high temperature and high resistance. This material when they are cooled gradually, what's happened? The resistance temperature decrease, the resistance also decrease. At certain temperature, the resistance fallen suddenly zero. The temperature is the certain temperature, for example 30 degrees centigrade, here 100 degrees centigrade. Here resistance is the, for example, 100 ohms. Temperature decrease along with the resistance. What's happened? Decrease. At certain temperature, at 30, example 13 degrees centigrade, the resistance will be 0. Okay. At which temperature we are called as critical temperature or transition temperature. Above transition temperature, the material exhibit normal conductor. At below critical temperature, the material exhibit superconductor. Okay, the phenomenon of exhibiting zero resistivity is called superconductivity, and the metal which exhibits superconductivity is said to be a superconductor. The temperature above which the material becomes normal conductor and below is which show the superconductor, normal conductor based on the critical temperature. Okay, what is the important properties of the superconductor? The zero resistivity means carry the current without any loss. This property is used to the producing superconductivity. After then it is used to frictionless trains, and that means without resistance the conductivity is more. That is the superconductivity. This is some of the advances in the superconductivity phenomenon. Okay, thank you very much.